I'm always curious to see how other people use their journals and planners, how they get creative, how they get organized, and that's what this video is for. This is my April and May journal and planner update. I'm going to walk you through my daily journal, my Hobonichi Cousin, my bullet journal, my traveler's notebook, to give you an idea of what's been working, what's not been working, and some changes that I'm thinking of making in my journal and planner system. So if you're ready, let's just jump right in. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Seppi and I share with you simple and practical tips to live a happier life, namely my journal and planners to help me set and achieve meaningful and inspired goals. And let's just jump right in. The first thing that we're going to review is going to be my Hobonichi Cousin, which has been my planner for the last 2 years. And if you watch my planner lineup for this year, then you will know that this year I decided to change things up. Last year I used my Hobonichi Cousin as a daily journal as well as a planner, but this year I decided to just use it strictly for planning and for my brain dumps, and the system is going strong. So I'm going to talk you through what I have been doing as I flip through my Hobonichi Cousin to give you some ideas of some spreads. So like I said, I have been using this planner mainly for planning my life, and one thing that I've incorporated at the beginning of every month is a life admin tasks that I carry forward if anything wasn't done, to try and prioritize. So that's something new I'm doing this month that I did, and it did help, is to have my priorities and my bonuses, just because it got a little bit overwhelming. However, overall, what I wanted to say is that having a life admin page has really helped kind of break down the things that I need to get done, the tasks that we often push to the side, don't do, procrastinate on, and it's the end of the year and you haven't gotten it done. Things like contacting the dental insurance, or for me, for example, finding a therapist, or I need to get my will and testament done, which I have a few more days to get that done. I wanted to get it done this month, but anyway, these are my life admin tasks. That way, when I sit down and schedule my week, I can look here to kind of see what are some things that I can check off my to-do list, get it done, and that way I'm procrastinating a lot less. So that's been one thing that I've been loving. Another thing, I've been a little bit more flexible with some of the pages, because I find that I don't like wasting empty pages where nothing is there. I just feel like it's a waste of this beautiful planner and beautiful paper. So I'm trying to incorporate different things, like doing a quick weekly recap, or if I need to do a quick brain dump of what I need to get done over the weekend. That has also been helpful, to be a little bit more flexible with how I use this planner. But overall, as you can see, I'm using the same format every single day, and that really helps keep things not only consistent, but at the same time, every single day when I sit down and do my daily planning, I don't have to overthink how I'm going to do a layout. It is always going to be the same every single day. And honestly, I have to say that has been really helpful. So I'm just gonna quickly show you how I do it, and let me know if you want me to do more detailed daily planning in my Hobonichi Cousin. I have a daily to-do list for things like chores and whatnot, so life stuff. I have a to-do list for my business task. I like to be very mindful and incorporate a lot of self-care in my day-to-day, to be a lot more mindful, instead of always focusing on things I'm doing, things that I should be doing for my health and well-being as well. And then what has been really helpful, I find this year that I've done, is breaking down my day into 3 chunks: my morning, my afternoon, and my evening. I have a 9-to-5 job as well, so during the day it's slightly different than what I can get done in the evening, and just being able to break it down into the next 3 or 4 tasks that I can do. So the way that I'll start in the morning, I'll add a few tasks here, check them off, and then I'll add more. So I'll pull from this to-do list and I'll add it here, get it done. So that helps me stay really focused on the next things I need to get done, instead of getting overwhelmed and looking at the whole day. And that way I have some flexibility in adapting my schedule depending on how I feel. And at the bottom, having a bit of a brain dump, so if any ideas or thoughts come to mind, I write it down. That way I can just refer back to it. So this layout, honestly, I really love. And when I sit down to do my daily journaling, my daily planning, I often just do both pages at the same time. I'll prepare everything and just the outline for the next day as well. That way the next day I can just sit down and plan my day. So that's another little tip, is to try and bulk prepare some of your pages as well. I've been trying to incorporate a little bit more like decorative elements, very simple decorative elements. And the other thing that I've been doing that I really have loved is keeping one color scheme for the whole month. That way, again, I don't have to overthink it, but I can still incorporate my Tombow pen and my little highlighters and just decorative elements, and I just don't have to overthink it, and it just keeps things very simple. And then we're moving on to May, which I switched to more of a green color. Again, same thing, incorporating some brain dumps. Instead of having an extra journal for my brain dumps, I just do it here. When there's just like a lot of my brain I just need to organize, I write it down. This week I was actually traveling and I did not take my planner because I did not need to take my planner. I don't actually often travel with my planner, but that's why these weeks are empty. Came back from the trip, try to get organized, and then just got right back into using my planner. Got a few little love notes from my sister writing it in my planner, which is super cute. Continued with the same format. As you can see, like I said, it really helps to simplify things and to keep things a lot more simple, straightforward, and I don't have to overthink it. So those are my daily pages in my Hobonichi Cousin that I still love, that I'm going to continue using moving forward to the end of the year, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to continue using a Hobonichi Cousin next year as well, because I just really enjoy the whole process, the whole system. It's flexible enough for you to be able to make it your own, and it's just a beautiful product as well. I have a more in-depth walkthrough and pros and cons of the Hobonichi Cousin, so if you want to watch that, there's a separate video that goes more in depth in that. Now I'm going to show you my weekly spreads. So one thing that I've changed this month that I did was at the beginning of the month when I do my monthly planning, I also just create all the spreads for my weekly spreads for the week ahead. So as you can see, I kept with mostly the same theme, although this week I used the Coffee Monsters Co. stickers, which I thought was super cute. And then moving forward, I just kept to the same theme, matching, as you can see, the green of my daily spreads as well. I like things to be consistent, and I just mapped it out. I put my to-do list, I put a little decorative elements, and just kept it very simple. That way on Sundays, when it came to sitting down and doing my planning, it makes it a lot easier to do. I just have to write a to-do list and look at my week, map things out quickly. So this is, for example, we are currently Sunday, and as you can see, the next week's is already kind of prepared. I've been adding in things as things have come up, as appointments and events have been coming up. I also have a little post-it that I put in when I just need to do a brain dump of things that I want to remember to do and add to my to-do list, and I just add that there as my little brain dump here. And I'll next have to do my June planning, which I'm planning on filming as well. So if you want to watch that, make sure to keep watching my channel. And then the other thing is my monthly spreads, which again is something that I do ahead of time. So I'm going to be planning out my June month very soon, and the way that I do it, I also put in pencil when things are coming up and I know they're happening. I put it in pencil, then I erase it and make it a lot more pretty. My monthly spread is to give me an idea of appointments, trips, things that I have already planned, family brunch, birthdays that I want to remember so I can call my friends or send a birthday gift or a card or whatever else, my payday. So it's very strategic in the sense that it's for my planning purposes. That way when I sit down and do my weekly planning, I toggle between my weekly spread and my monthly spread. That way I can see, okay, this week I have a lot of appointments coming up, so that way I can plan out my workouts. I can know when I am in my cycle, so I can adapt my schedule and my appointments and my workouts according to my cycle. So for example, this week I know that my period is coming, so I know that I'm going to have to adapt my workouts by the end of the week. So I'm going to try and do more workouts at the beginning of the week. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of how I use my planner to stay organized in my whole life. And the last thing that I've been doing in my Hobonichi Cousin, which this month has been really hectic, is my habits tracker. Although I like having my habits tracker in here instead of my bullet journal, just this month I was not able to keep up with it. I tried yesterday to fill it in based on memory, or like for example, I wanted to do 10,000 steps. I was able to look back at my Apple Watch to see what days I did it. So I tried to backfill it, but I can't with some things, like if I did some of my stretches or if I had quiet time. It is what it is. However, I still like having my habits tracker in here, so that way during the day, at the end of the day, when I sit down and check off my to-do list, it's a lot easier for me to just flip here and do my habits tracker versus pulling out another journal. So that has been very helpful, that I think I'm going to continue anyway. It's just this month life got busy. So that is how my Hobonichi planner has been going in the month of May and April. Still loving it, and I am going to show you how I do my monthly planning if you're interested in watching that as well. The next thing we're going to look at is this little guide. This is my B6 Leuchtturm journal. It is a hardcover, and I have this is from Moleskine, and I have it personalized, and I have a pen loop. This, again, I've said it in the last few videos when I did a recap, this is probably my favorite edition of in my lineup this year. I did a whole process where I sat down and assessed my planners and journals to really refine it into a more streamlined process. And this daily journal is probably my favorite edition, like I said, for many different reasons. I love the size of it. I love how cute it is. I've talked about the Leuchtturm products for a long time because I have been using them for almost 10 years, and they're just, the price point for the quality is really amazing. It just makes my daily journaling really enjoyable, and I just want to sit down and do my daily journaling. The size is smaller than an A5, as you can see here, and what that does is that it makes it a lot easier and a lot less overwhelming for you to feel as though you can sit down and do your daily journaling, fill out, even if it's half a page or a full page, and feel satisfied that you have a page filled out. Where at the end of the May, and I'm already at page number 91, so I'm excited to actually finish a full journal this year. So it's just a really satisfying journal to use. I could talk on and on about it. I have bought this journal for at least 5 close friends, and a lot of people have bought it with my discount code and have told me they love it as well. So I could talk on and on, but this is probably my top favorite daily journal that I have used ever, just to give you an idea. So the same way that I wanted to color code my Hobonichi Cousin, I've been doing the same with my daily planning. The only thing is here, I've been using a fountain pen, which I also really love. It just makes the process so much more enjoyable and feels luxurious. However, this month I didn't clean out the fountain pen properly, so it started off as kind of like a purple. So this is April, and then it eventually evolved into the actual color. So that's fine. It kind of adds a little bit of character to it. And yeah, I love using my fountain pens in this journal as well. I've also added a date stamp to my stationery. I've been really mindful with not buying too much this year so I can use up some of my stash and then be more intentional with what I buy. One thing I did buy, which has been a really random but great purchase, is this date stamper. As you can see here, I stamp the dates every single day. I love that you can see the date more clearly, so it provides a clear separation, and it's just like really fun. I just feel like a little librarian doing my little stamping every day. So if you want like a fun little random purchase that you're going to use in your daily journal, highly recommend this one. And then in May, I decided to use this beautiful color from We're in Gold. It's called Wayfarer. My only issue is I use it in my TWSBI Echo, and I don't know if you can, if it translates on video, but you can see the shimmer here. But the shimmer for some reason is not coming through in when I write, which has been extremely annoying. Even though I love the color, I've been disappointed that I cannot see the shimmer. It's a really beautiful blue teal color with a purple shimmer. So that's been a little disappointing, but that's okay. I still enjoy using my fountain pens. The other thing that I've really been doing differently that's been kind of fun is trying to improve my cursive writing. As you can see here, the writing here versus here is a little different. So that's been fun to try and experiment and improve my handwriting and to be a little bit more thoughtful when I write. So that's been also a random thing that I wanted to mention that I have been enjoying as well. So daily journal, my B6 Leuchtturm, I love it. And I do have a 20% discount code if you're interested in grabbing the same one. This is the hardcover. I would probably try the thin cover as well, but the only thing that I'll say is with the hardcover, if you like to write sitting in bed or on the couch, that's what I do sometimes. I sit on the couch, I put a little cushion on my lap and I write. It's nice to have a hardcover because it does add like a hard surface for you to be able to easily write if you like to write in bed or on the couch or anywhere else that's not on a table. So this is the hardcover that I have and I truly love. The next journal in my planner and journal planner system is my bullet journal. I'm going to be perfectly honest, this month, this is probably one of the first times I'm opening it this month, and we are end of May. I don't think I even did a May layout. No, I did not. That is okay. This is why I wanted to share this video, because I think it's helpful to see that even though it's fun to keep up with all your journals and planners, to do all these creative spreads, that life happens and it's okay. And even though I really don't like that I don't have anything to show for May, it's just a reality. So I hope that that helps you alleviate that kind of pressure off yourself as well. So let me just do a quick flip through and a quick walkthrough. This is April and I love how this layout turned out. I went with the purple theme. Every single month I do memories. I guess I didn't finish April. See, I have not opened my journal in so long. I need to finish this, but I have a Canon IV2 printer which I use to do my memories and I really love it. That was another purchase that I did end of last year. Highly recommend it as well. So I have a memory section where I put down memories, ephemera that I keep, and I stick it in. I had a spring cleaning list which I need to check off because I did do a few more things, as well as some home reparation things I need to get done in my home as well. I wanted to kind of reassess my health goals and how I'm going to approach and take care of my health. I have endometriosis. I also have a sleeping disorder. So the last few years has been a lot. So I'm always constantly trying to improve my health, find new ways of little changes that I can make. So that was what I was doing here, especially after seeing my naturopath. And then I did a creative spread, which I love how it turned out. When I see beautiful quotes online, I keep them and then I just do like a creative spread. It's like a fun thing that I do in the evening, put on some music, get creative, have some fun, and fill up my bullet journal. I have to say, the start of the year until April, I was on a good roll when it came to filling out my bullet journal. And like I said, April and May has just been really hectic. I traveled, there was a lot of changes, a lot of things going on. I had my sister stay with me and she's still staying with me. It's just like been a lot going on. So I'm trying to be kind with myself and I've been trying to sit down and actually fill out my memories. I haven't even done a spread for May. So that sucks a little bit and I'm not crazy about it, but it is what it is. So I'm going to try and sit down and do that. It's probably going to take like over 2 hours. So we'll see when that happens. I also want to create my bullet journal spread for June. That way I can get back on track. I was really excited to actually fill up this journal because I tend to not completely fill up the bullet journal every single year. And I was really excited to actually be able to fill it out this year. Anyway, that's just a reality check. Life happens. I hope that you can feel a bit better if you haven't been able to keep up with things and maybe this is your inspiration to get back on track. This is also the bullet journal from Leuchtturm. I have been using the regular A5 dotted grid journal for the last 8 years for my yearly bullet journal, but I have been using the specific bullet journal one and I enjoy the quality of it a lot better. The paper's a lot thicker, so it can handle a little bit better when it comes to fountain pens, when it comes to sticking things in it. As you can see here, I used fountain pen and I stuck things in it and you can barely see anything. This is because I was a little bit too eager with my fountain pen, kind of make it cutesy. But anyway, overall, I would also recommend this one if you want a bullet journal that's a bigger size. It's the A5 Leuchtturm bullet journal as well. Like I said, I have a 20% discount. I'll leave the information in the description box. But that is my update on my bullet journal. Hopefully next month will be a bit better and I'll have a lot more to show you. And because I like to challenge myself and make things a lot more difficult for myself than I need to be, I have a second bullet journal. This is mostly for my, well, not mostly, it is only for my business because I like to write things out by hand. Just sometimes I just find it better than taking out a computer. So I have been using it. I don't have much of an update. It's just to show you what's actually in my system, to give you ideas or whatever else. I don't have a strict system for this one other than it's for my business. Sometimes I want to write out a to-do list. Sometimes I have a brain dump that I wanted to write things out of things that I want to do, or I have an idea of a product that I want to create. Hint, hint at something that is hopefully coming to you soon. Or break down, because my brain gets overwhelmed with all the different tasks I need to get done for my business. So I like to break it down into brain dump. I haven't looked at this list in a while, but it just sometimes helps to just look at it. So no specific updates for this journal. Like I said, I don't have any specific rules for it or any intentions in terms that I have to finish it. It's just a space for me to write down anything that I need to for my business because I like to write things out by hand. I just find it easier for me to process the information for my brain and then move it in my laptop into my digital organization there for my business. So that's just a quick little update for my second bullet journal, just to be transparent in terms of what's actually in my journal and planner system. And now my travels notebook. I am very much struggling with this one, and I would love to get your input on any suggestions because I am debating whether or not to keep this or not because I have not really kept up with it. So my travels notebook was meant to be more of a creative journal. So I have an insert for my books, so a book journal to keep up to see what books I've read, a coffee notebook where I put all the little coffee shops I've been to and make creative spreads, and a travel journal where I would make creative spreads for trips that I've gone on. So here's how this is going. It feels overwhelming to have an extra journal to fill out, even though I love it. So for my book spread, I do enjoy having it and printing out the little cover, putting a little summary of the book itself, rate it. That way I can look back at all the books that I read throughout the year. I'm backed up. I think I have like 3 or 4 books at least to add to this. Like I said, I have a lot to update. Between this and this, it just feels a little overwhelming, and I think that's why I haven't done it, because it's just too much. So I do enjoy having a book journal. It just feels like another thing to update. So even though I love it, it's a lot. My coffee spread, my coffee journal insert, also love the idea of it, but I haven't kept up with it. Like I go to a lot of coffee shops because I live in Montreal, and we have a lot of fun coffee shops, and that's one thing I love to do every single weekend. So I thought it'd be fun to capture and to make creative spreads with the coffee shops that I've gone to. I've only done 3, and I think I've gone to like a lot more than that, and I even have ephemera from other ones that I need to put into this journal. Again, fun idea. It's just another thing that I haven't done. And then my travel journal, which, to be fair, I went on my first trip recently. I went to Houston with my sister because she is moving there for work, and I haven't had time to sit down and actually do these spreads. So I'm excited about this to do kind of a, scrapbook of my trips. Again, it just feels overwhelming. So one of the things that I discussed when I made that video to help you figure out your journal and planner system, one of the questions that I posed that you have to ask yourself, and I'm thinking that I have to ask myself, as much as it's fun, is it realistic? Is it something that you can actually keep up with? Have you kept up with it, yes or no? And obviously I have not been able to keep up with my travels notebook. I think there are a number of reasons for it. I think this year has been a lot more hectic than I thought it would be. I think having an extra journal to keep up has been a lot. Another part of me is like, well, the coffee shop spreads, I should have just put it in my bullet journal since I do creative spreads anyway with the quotes. But then the travel journal, I like to have it separate. And then my book reading, I also think I don't like how thin and long the pages are, so maybe that's also another issue. I am open to your feedback. Any recommendations? Should I just keep going and put no pressure on myself even though I feel like not great about it? Should I just scrap the idea, but then what I do with these like mostly unfinished inserts, I really don't know. So any of your input would be appreciated. But this has been a bit of a sore point in my journal and planner system because at the beginning of the year I was very excited about it, haven't kept up with it, so I don't know if I should sell my traveler's notebook. I don't know. Love to hear your input if you have any. And the last journal that I want to mention, since I've mentioned it in my previous recap videos, is the Change Journal. Again, from Leuchtturm. I'm very much into personal development. So I love using new tools that will help you, whether it's reading books or journals like this. As you can probably guess, since I have not kept with my bullet journal and my travels notebook, I have not been able to keep up with the Change Journal. I'm okay with it, but this is a good reminder that it is something that I enjoy doing just because this journal, the concept is it takes you 2 to 3 minutes to firstly learn about a specific area of personal development and then applying a tool that will help you improve that specific area. I've been meaning to do a more specific video reviewing this journal. I just haven't had the time. But again, looking at this reminds me that I actually really did enjoy this journal because it is very simple, very straightforward, and it is what it promises. It takes you less than 5 minutes to fill out a page and really to kind of reflect, and it's a guided kind of reflection process for you to work on different areas of your personal development, which I love because I create my own personal development tools. I have a whole bunch of different workbooks and goal setting books, and I created an inspired goal setting process that I'm teaching to my one-on-one clients and in workshops. But it's fun for me to have someone do it for me, so to have a system and a framework that I just have to show up to do instead of me figuring it out. So this is a good reminder that I do want to make more of an effort effort to do it because it does really just take 2 to 3 minutes. So I just wanted to mention this journal again because I have been in the last few months, and again, it's something that I enjoy doing. I just need to get back to it. So that is this journal. Let me know if you're interested in a more in-depth video. That way I can prioritize it if you are interested or not. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching, and if you have any recommendations for my travels notebook, I'd love to hear from you. Sending you a lot of love. Bye for now.